Go. Okay, welcome everyone. This is Get Your Products Paid For, session 2 of 3. If you missed Megan's fabulous session 1 last week, you're going to want to go back and review that. However, here we are, session 2. We're covering step 3 and step 4 in our Get Your Products Paid For training. That is, you've probably got the link, hopefully, and viewed those trainings already. So the purpose of us coming together with these Zooms is really just kind of a, let's review this together. What were your main takeaways? Do you have any questions? Like, how can we be helpful? Type of a thing. Support alongside that training, because the training is really the basics of what you need. So let's dig into that. But first of all, I'm going to drop the link for the training right here in the chat for you to save. If you don't already have it saved, I would encourage you to do so, because there's things that you're going to want to refer back to more than once. And also did you notice there's some clickable links in there that go along with each training too? If you didn't, then surprise, there is. So let me add that link into the chat right here that you can grab and save. Save it to your notes on your phone. Where's my chat? Hang on. Chat, where are you? There you are. Okay. So here is the Get Your Products Paid For link, kind of the master of everything. And then inside there are the separate little, real short, super simple, quick, helpful trainings for you to master the basics of getting your products paid for, or far beyond, if that's something you're interested in. Which, if you're like me and you don't want to be tied to a 9-to-5 job where someone tells you where you have to be, when, and how much you're worth. If you want more than that, if you want more time freedom and abundance in your life and flexibility, then hey, why not go for more? That's how I saw it from the beginning. But we can always start with just getting your products paid for and go from there. So either way, whatever it is that you're open to and hoping for, I shouldn't say hoping for, willing to work for, then we're here for you. Okay, so save that link into your notes on your phone, refer to it often. There are clickable links that go with each short video training. It's super, super helpful. And it's proven to be successful if you utilize it. Okay, so video or step 3, the topic is basically inviting your friends and family along. So what were your main takeaways? I'd love to hear. Hopefully you watched it. And if so, would love to hear your takeaways. Anyone? And this is a safe place. We're all extremely nice here, by the way. So if that terrifies you to speak up, you don't have to, but if something stood out to you, we would love to hear it too. So, anyone? Okay, well then, you get to hear my takeaways. How about that? Amber, were you unmuting to share something?
Well, I was gonna say, I kind of watched all 4 today just before, so they might all kind of blend together. But one thing I really liked that was in those is that it's like, if it's a no, it's okay. It's not about you. If your families don't want to, like, just to really kind of help people understand, even if it's your family and your best friends that you thought would do everything with you, it's okay if they don't say no, it's still going to work.
Amen.
So I really liked that, just to kind of help keep everybody, so everybody knows, like, that's okay. It's expected, but you still have to start where you're comfortable.
I love it. Yes, that is so true. And really, I think, Amber, what you were trying to say in another way is just don't make it weird. Don't make it awkward, right?
Yeah.
Like, if some people will be interested and some people won't. And if they're not, that doesn't mean anything about you or your friendship with them or your relationship with them. It's just, not yet, basically. It's not the time for them now. And just don't make it weird. So that's a good takeaway, Amber. So the thing is, this can feel so natural and genuine to share if you really are open-minded about the opportunity that we have here, that you have something that really anyone that has a beating heart and skin could benefit from this. And a lot of people desperately need what we have, not just our products, but also our opportunity. And if you just can find a way to share it that it feels natural to you and genuine, then this can be such a beautiful, simple thing. The problem is people overthink it, because really what it boils down to is how we have success here is we start conversations with people and invite them to take advantage of something that they could benefit from. And then we support them in the process if they're interested. And if they're not, no problem whatsoever. Like, if you want to follow along and just cheer me on, that still means a lot to me. And I love referrals. So if you know anyone that can't poop or is trying to lose some weight, that doesn't want to go the, unhealthy RX route or surgery, then I love referrals. And that would mean the world to me too. So it's just, don't make it weird. You know what I mean? Kind of what it boils down to. But this step, now this is one of my very favorite ones that, like, I've actually worked with several people who were able to reach that first rank goal of silver, which is 3 referrals, without even doing a post. Anyone else here experience that themselves or with someone that they were supporting? It is really very doable, actually. So you just have to be open to having those conversations. And what we want you to think about is, who are the main people that I do life with the most? I want you to think about that honestly right now. Like, who are the people that you want to call up and share exciting news to? Who are the first people that come to mind? Or when you're having a bad day, who would you call to vent or get some love and support? Those are your people that we're talking about right now, okay? Those are your people. Those are the ones that it should feel so authentic, honestly, to just call them up and say, hey, Megan, so I decided I'm going to try these gut health products that helped my friend Jen so much, because I'm so sick and tired of da 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 da. And I know that I'll do better if I have some accountability. And so I was thinking, who do I want to get healthy with? And so I thought of you. Like, there's a money back promise and there's a sale, so we really have nothing to lose. Would you want to try this with me? Right? How would you say it to your best friend? How would you say it to your sister? Say it that way. Okay? Just don't make it weird. Just have the conversation and say what comes out of your heart. But say it. Be willing. Like, just think about how much more awkward it is if, like, 3 months down the road, your best friend is like, why are you like shrinking and got a whole new wardrobe and like your energy seems like you're bouncing off the walls. What's different? And then you really want to tell her, oh, by the way, I've been doing this secretly, but I didn't want to tell you. She's going to be mad at you. She's going to be like, what? Why didn't you invite me to try that with you? You don't ever want that to happen, right? So take that to heart and just be willing to have those conversations. I want to challenge you right now, like, who are the people that you do life with? Who are those people that you're closest to? Have you had that conversation with them? Just a natural, genuine conversation of, hey, do you want to try this with me? That's really all it is. Don't overthink it. You don't need a script. Megan?
Could you next level it and reach out about the business instead of the products?
Of course you could. That's what I did from the beginning, but I approached this a lot different than a lot of people do. But that, I love that. Yes, why not? Especially those people that you're closest to. I mean, especially if you're open to earning income here and that's a goal of yours, then don't hide that from them, because it's kind of the same concept of like, you don't want to be the one later that's like, oh, sorry, I didn't invite you to do this. It's been awesome for me, and really, if you want to build a business, that is the fastest way to do so, is to grab some friends that, hey, you want to earn some extra income? We can do it in the nooks and crannies from our phone, and it's helping people.
Right. I ask that because some people like you starting out, you came for the business. And so some people on this call may be coming for the business. And so you could equally reach out about that, instead of the products. And also, one thing that blew me away at one of the Plexus trainings I was at, it was for Jules. And one of the people said, I always wanted to share the business, but my friend never asked me. And I assumed it was because she thought I wouldn't be good at it.
Ouch.
Right. And that was like, oh, who am I not asking who's making an assumption that I think they wouldn't be good at it?
People love to be invited.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you know what I mean? So always err on the side of over inviting than under inviting and offending someone, hurting someone's feelings. Okay, so in the chat, I did put definitely, we can share, you can totally change that up and just be like, hey, my friend Megan was able to quit her job as, oh, Carrie, you're raising your hand. Is that intentional?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was just, it's funny because I just sat here and got a text from a woman that I worked with years ago because I've been posting on Facebook, and I just randomly, reached out to people like probably 2 weeks ago, but I didn't badger them. I just reached out to them. I sent them one of these, what, you just sent to us in the chat, to like people that were liking my posts. And then she just reached out again and said, hey, I really want to touch base with you on Wednesday. I've been liking what you're posting. I didn't go after her. I just allowed, and then she asked me to talk to her this weekend, but this weekend was crazy. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to reach out to her just yet. I'll reach out to her coming up this weekend, but I had my sister's wedding. So then she came and reached out to me. So like sometimes you just got to put that initial seed out there. And then another lady that I had same post, like same, like reach out and direct messaging. She just said, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I'm not interested. Like it wasn't hurtful, right? Like they weren't upset.
You're still
They
friends,
still thanked
right?
me. It was right. You're not like nothing happened. And the same thing with the business. I think, the business opportunity, I think people would be more intrigued to hear about that than actually the product sometimes, because everybody's looking for a way to make their lives better and they just don't know what's out there. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they've never heard of doing anything. Like they see all those Facebook ads, but they don't do anything with them.
They
So like this is just a nice, right.
Yeah.
Just make a nice bridge for them if that's something that motivates you too. So either way, it's kind of cool how it works out. So just start talking.
Amen. I love it. Thanks for adding that, Carrie. And you win even when they say no. Did you realize that? Because here's this magical thing happens when you invite them to consider this opportunity to earn extra income with you, or you invite them to consider like, hey, come get healthy with me. Either way, if they say, nah, not really my thing, nah, not right now, guess what happens? 99% of the time, they're actually going to start paying attention more. They'll be paying attention to your posts and they want to see, okay, let's see what this does for her or him. And not only that, but you kind of mark them, tag them as I'm your Plexus girl whenever you're ready. Does that make sense? Like maybe they're not interested right now and they're not ready right now, but 2 years later, when they get that diagnosis, who's their Plexus lady? You know, you reached out, that wasn't a yes then, but all of us who've been here for a while can tell you that does happen. It definitely does happen. So just be willing to put it out there. I put that little very basic, that one's the health based, but just change up the wording a little bit, you know, and always it's helpful if you throw in some third-party validation, like my friend Whitney, my friend Megan, my friend Janelle, whoever is actually earning some really significant like side income, helping people with gut health. And who doesn't want extra income? Like, do you want to do this with me? It's really flexible, you know? So just don't make it weird. Just put it out there. Now, if people say yes, that can freeze people up too. Because like that hesitation of, well, what if they say yes, then what? So I gave you in the chat a very simple response if they show any kind of interest, because let me tell you, one of the worst things that you can do that a lot of people fail in the beginning is they feel like they have to like give them the whole rundown, right? Like explain all the things to them. And that's really never a good idea. It overwhelms them. And a lot of times you're just like, you know, the excitement's fun, but you just want to contain it. And so always loop in your friend, for third-party validation, which Megan talked a lot about last week. And so that's just so simple, even in like a phone conversation, or whether it's, you know, you sent them a message or whatever in person, you can just be like, cool. Okay, well, I'm still like really new and I just want to make sure you get the best like information and suggestions. So is it cool if I just like start a 3-way chat with Megan and you can just, whenever it's convenient, like she'll help us out? Do you see the brilliance of that? Like it's taking all the pressure off of you as a new VIP and putting it in the hands of an expert. And they're also getting excellent third-party validation, which makes them feel more secure and confident about what you're sharing with them. So that's why we do it this way. It's very effective and it's the best way for you to learn as well. Okay. So, that's that. Any questions about part 3? You can save those, make them your own, tweak them, whatever, but just start the conversations, right? So, and like, here's the thing, you're the boss. So you kind of have to boss yourself. We're not going to be like checking in on you tomorrow and saying, hey, did you reach out to your 3 people that you're close to? So take the lead for yourself and just do it. Just get used to not being weird about it. You know what I mean? Just get comfortable with like having real conversations and just being like, hey, I found something that I'm really excited about. And I thought everyone can benefit from this. So it'd be fun if we did it together. Any chance you're interested? Is that weird? No one's going to think that's weird. So stop making it weird. You know what I mean? Okay. Next, step 4. This one is all about creating your list. I should have Carol speak on this because Carol is fantastic about keeping her list and just consistently doing the things. Having a physical list of who do you know is like having a gold mine next to your desk that you can like consistently chip away at. It really is. Just like having the names in your head, it's just, that doesn't work, you know? Like we have to have a way to physically track and like physically like keep track of who do we know, when did we have a conversation with them, how did it go, you know, when to follow up, whatever. Like that is game changer. And so here's the thing. Well, actually, first I want to ask you, did you have any takeaways on that from that training? Did anyone have anything stand out that they were like, oh, that makes sense? Or, oh, I never thought of that. Okay, then here's something you should know. There's a stat that says the average person knows over 400 people. And now with social media, it's actually closer to like between 500 and 600. So of those people, let's just be conservative and say, you know, about 400 people. When you take into account like, you know, like your whole life of, and there's a list out there, like you can find the Frank's list online, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and what's the K? Kids contacts. S is like social groups. But I mean, like if you really think about it, I guarantee if I were to give you $1 for every name you wrote down, I bet you'd whip out 150 like it was nothing. Think about it that way. Your list, your contact list is that valuable. I want you to just imagine that, you know, the bigger your list, the more money it's worth, because it's true. That's your gold mine. And if you don't have that like physically in sight and constantly like adding names to it and using it, then you just don't even realize the potential that you have. And you don't have any organization behind it, right? So yeah, no random scrolling and trying like sitting down for your 15 minutes of Plexus work for the day or whatever it is that you dedicate to it, 2 hours, and saying, okay, who am I going to message today? That feels overwhelming. That's when people get scared. When you already have a game plan, a strategy, you have like a base message that you're confident in sharing and you can personalize it. And then you have a list of 200 names. Guess how discouraged you feel after you've checked off 5 names and no one's ordered yet? You still have 148 names on there. So you realize that's okay. There's a whole gigantic just ocean of opportunity for me still. Where if you don't make a physical list, it's the opposite. You reach out to your first 5 friends and family that you were sure would want to do this with you. And here none of them are ready or interested yet. That's when you're like, oh, I guess this isn't going to work for me. My friends just aren't into this. You know what I mean? Yes, planting seeds and curiosity as you reach out. So making your list. Who here, does anyone want to, like, by raise of hands, say if you have a physical list that you add to consistently and utilize? Yay, okay. Here's what you'll see. The people that are raising their hands, they're the ones who are typically going to be the most successful. This, having a list and utilizing it and adding to it and like taking notes on it and updating it consistently, that is your gold mine, you guys. So do it. And don't prejudge people. Here's the crazy thing. A lot of times the people that you think are going to want to do this with you, they're not interested right now. And then it's the people that you think, oh, they probably won't be interested. A lot of times those are the ones who are like, okay, I want to try that. So don't prejudge. Literally everyone that's 18 and over that has a beating heart, I want you to add them to your list. Okay. Now you can go through. I actually would suggest that you go through and specify those that, you know what? I think this person could actually be really good with this business because, you know, they have a great network. They're very outgoing. They love to help people, whatever it is, just kind of highlight those people. And then you're going to want to give them like a special message about how, you know what, I was just thinking I would love to do this with you. I think you'd be so good at this. And everyone needs extra money these days. So you've got this great network. Like, I know you have a heart for serving people. This seems like it might be a fit. Is there any chance you'd be open to earning some income from home? Like, you want to give them a special message. So I would just encourage that. But, yeah, if they say no, I think that that's a good, valuable tool we can give you is how to respond. Like if they're not interested yet, because if you already have that planned ahead and you know to expect it, then you don't have to make it weird. You know what I mean? You don't have to take offense to it when you know that that's just how it goes. So like I'm a diamond in this company. Do you know how many no's that means I've heard? In 9 years, do you know how many no's I've heard? What if I'd have quit because it hurt my feelings when people told me no? Oh, Megan, please. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the hand raises.
Oh, that's okay. I will lower my hand now. Carol did a training. Was your training on making the list? I never got a chance to watch it. Is that something that we should share, or do you just want to know?
It wasn't a specific thing about writing a list. It was just
Okay.
doing things.
Okay. So when I decided to make a list, one thing that I did is I just sat down with Facebook in front of me and I wrote down every name on it of people that I knew that weren't using Plexus. And I mean, like, it took no time and I had 200 names and I only worked through like, you know, this all to the D's maybe.
I'll tell you what was my game changer. Like, and Whitney knows I do. We do a phone call once a day so I do my non-negotiable things. And one of my non-negotiable things have been send 5 messages. Bing, 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 bing. Don't even think about it. Like I literally like, sometimes I look at who I'm sending the messages to. I'm like, oh, if I really thought about it, I wouldn't send it. Like I sent them like CEOs of my old companies and like, why wouldn't I send it to them? They have a gut too, right? So
100%.
why am I picking them not to send it to, right? So I really
100%.
stopped attaching anything to it. Like I didn't analyze if they should say, who would really like this? Like I don't even put an attachment to it at all. I just literally send my message and then I move on.
Right. Go ahead. I heard someone say once, if you want to eliminate fear in your business, stop making it about you. That's where the overthinking comes in.
Write that down. That's a good one. That's a writer downer.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to eliminate fear in this business, stop making it about you.
Yeah, or I think they actually said stop thinking about you. Like, what are they going to think of me, right? But yes, if you want to eliminate fear, stop making it about you.
That is powerful.
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, we're out of time. So if you click on our Get Your Products Paid For link under step 4, there's actually a clickable link that will take you to a printable list that you can, like, if you just need some help brainstorming to get you started, start there and then just add to it like you'll think of new people every day. I guarantee you will. I'm 9 years in, 9.5 years in, and I still am like, oh, I got to add that person to my list. Oh, I didn't think I got to add that person constantly, right? Mm-hmm. So get your list and just be natural about it. Speak from your heart, speak with your words and don't make it weird. And if people aren't interested, then that really just usually means not yet. but they'll be watching. So keep that in mind, and that you
And-
just let them know you're their Plexus girl or guy.
Sorry to interrupt. I know we have to go, but I just wanted to point out a couple of things that I wish I knew when I started. All of our Zooms are, for the most part, are on this Zoom link. So save this Zoom link. Because I used to go searching in the chat threads, like, what's the link? What's the link? What's the link? It will always be this link, unless otherwise stated. The other thing is we have a lot of different calls you can hop on, and they are all listed. If you go to Wellness Warriors and type in calendar, Whitney posts the calendar of events every month on the Wellness Warriors page. That's different from the information page for Wellness Warriors. So the information page is the product info and testimonies, and Wellness Warriors is the business page. So in Wellness Warriors, you'll find the calendar of things. And so those were two little tips that helped me. So thank you for letting me interject that. Yes, I hear you, Carol. Yeah.
Very helpful. I love it.
Good to see you
Okay.
guys. Thank you.
All right, we got another
Oh.
call coming up.
Oh,
So-
the other thing, Stacy, we're having a week off and then Stacy's leading in 2 weeks. Yes, that's what I really wanted to say.
We have convention next week, so no call, no Zoom, but the following week, same time, same Zoom link, 2 Mondays from now. We'll see you for session 3. Thanks,
Right.
everyone. Have a good
Thank
good
you.
night. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.